Hey, I'm Madi Diaz, and you're listening to WNXP 91.1, Nashville's music experience. Ready?
I used to stay up on the off chance that you might call me back. I used to go shopping for paint, go through pictures, it's all I had. I sift through our memories and lived there even when I wasn't sad. I used to, but now I don't do that. You used to be able to dictate each feeling inside my head. You dragged me through every trauma over and over again. 'Cause if I was crazy, then I'd still be yours, I'd always come back. You used to be able to, now you don't do that. What used to hurt doesn't hurt anymore. What used to work doesn't work anymore. And that's just true, it's not even brave. Can't be a new person in an old place. I used to take all of your shit and carry it on my back. I leave what I needed behind to make room for whatever you had. I believe that I had to be strong just for you so you wouldn't crack. I used to, but now I don't do that. What used to hurt doesn't hurt anymore. What used to work doesn't work anymore. And that's just true, it's not even brave. Can't be a new person in an old place. Oh. I used to, but now I don't. What used to hurt doesn't hurt anymore. What used to work doesn't work anymore. And that's just true, it's not even brave. Can't be a new person in an old place. I knew it would happen, I just had to wait. Can't be a new person in an old place. Can't be a new person in an old place. Can't be a new person in an old place.
All right. The song's called Nervous. Ready?
Sometimes I lie, sometimes I convince myself that everything's fine. I'm such a good actress when I say that I miss you, miss you, miss you. Think that I actually do, then I almost forget there's so much messed up between me and you. If I close my eyes, I can't even see I'm in a fuck state of mind. This can't last forever, I want the attention, I want the affection, and you take up all of my time. And besides the sex, there's nothing left, there is nothing left.
This is the last song on my most recent record. It's called Do It Now. And it's kind of my favorite because it's like just trying to end on a little bit of a positive, albeit yes intense, but still positive note.
I've never not been good at beginnings, good at undressing, better at feeling, better at trusting. I've never not been all of a sudden, all of me shutting down. And I don't wanna shut you out of my head and turn what I'm thinking down. Do you really wanna hear me say it out loud? If you're gonna love me, show me how. If you're gonna hurt me, do it now. If I give you everything, will it freak you out? If you're gonna love me, do it now. I picked up a habit of making a statement before I could have it, before I could keep it. I could make plans, but it's out of my hands, and I've never not been good at emotions. I know I don't wanna shut you out of my head and turn what I'm thinking down. Do you really wanna hear me say it out loud? If you're gonna love me, show me how. If you're gonna hurt me, do it now. If I give you everything, will it freak you out? If you're gonna love me, do it now. Oh, do it now. Do it now. If you're gonna love me, show me how. If you're gonna hurt me, do it now. If I give you everything, will it freak you out? If you're gonna love me, do it
now. Okay, hi, it's Celia here on 91.1 WNXP in our Sonic Cathedral with our friend, neighbor, and former Artist of the Month, Madi Diaz. Madi, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was rise and shine. It was like the perfect way to ease into the day with really sad songs in a performance space. So thank you.
We're all going to lay down after this, right? Together.
And sob, quiet sobs offline. But jokes aside, I mean, you knew you were making a really emotional record, obviously. What strikes me about History of a Feeling is that sort of like all the ingredients are there of the grieving process, but they jump around because grief is not linear. Sometimes like the theme through this record is that it surprises you when it comes back up and it's really inconvenient and annoying.
That is so well put. I didn't even put it that well.
Mildly annoying to say the least. But so what you can control is what you shared with fans and now what you perform. How's it feeling to perform these very personal songs in front of people and watching them resonate with folks?
It feels like relieving and sort of like a confessional, you know what I mean? Every time. But it's also, I don't know, it's like nice to get some sort of distance from like some stuff that happened. And then, you know, like the music sort of changes and takes like a different shape and might like reapply itself into different areas. But overall, it's very relieving. Like, oh, thank God this is just done and out and here we all are.
So being able to finally release the record and perform these songs, that just the holding on to it was harder than
it was a
go.
literal release. It felt like just
yeah.
yeah.
Well, you told my colleague Julie Height, I think, that some of these songs, or maybe even all of them, started as fragments, like voice memos when you were just by yourself.
Yeah, they were all, or not all of them, but like a good bit of them were like very quiet, private thoughts that, like, you know, just when you say them out loud, it feels like I'm giving like energy and life to this thing. And so, yeah, it was very private for like a lot of it.
And that leads me to a question is, you know, was there stuff that you were like, oh, a large majority of this I'm actually not okay with letting out and having people consume this?
Actually, the more I got into it, the more I was like, you know, the more I was, you know, doing my own sort of like research and, you know, finding songs and like finding, you know, other people's work out in the ether, the more I was like, oh, I kind of, maybe this is like a life raft that I'm going to give to somebody else too. So yeah, I don't know. The more I did it, you know, the first step is like the hardest step. I mean, I'm also like the worst at like jumping off diving boards and like you know, like everybody's like, oh, let's go cliff jumping and like go swim at the lake, and I'll stand at the top, like I'll stand at the precipice for like 20 minutes and then I'll jump in one time and it'll be like the best thing ever and then I'm done. So that's kind of like what this record was.
It's quite generous of you, though, to say, okay, this is what hurts the most. Yeah, okay, let's lay it down. Let's record it.
Let's go. I mean, life is short. Let's just explore this area.
Yeah, and you said even, the uplifting at the end, it is intense, right? So you're just open-hearted, and I think that's why it resonates the most with folks. So thank you.
Thank you.
New Person, Old Place, we've been playing that for a long time, but how do you feel about Place now? I mean, you've been back in Nashville for a few years, but a lot of this record, you're sort of looking westward.
Yeah.
Right? So what does Place mean to you now that, I don't know, you're here and this record's out?
I feel like when I wrote New Person, Old Place, it was funny because I literally had like, you know, I'd lived in Nashville and it felt like the home that I was returning to after, you know, living in LA for so long. So it's funny to write a song like New Person, Old Place and be like, you can't be a new person in an old place, because that's literally what I was doing,
I'm back, though.
You know? But I kind of, you know, when I was writing it with Emily West, who's also a Nashville native, and Jamie Floyd, who's like, you know, very much Nashville native, it was kind of like in a frame of mind sort of saying, you know, you can't like be this like this new version of yourself while you're like still chewing on the same old shit, you know? So that was kind of where I was taking it. I had to make it a metaphorical thing because I was very much in a physically old place.
You defied the logic there, that you are a new person now that you're back in Nashville than you were out there. I mean,
yeah.
It's reinvention. So speaking of reinvention, we love. You just dropped it. By the time this is aired, it'll be a couple weeks old. But the remix that Muna did with one of the arguably most tragic songs on the record, and now it's like a club banger. Tell me about working with those girls in Muna.
Muna is so cool. They're so cool. They're so lovely. And I really could not think of a better group of human beings to refab. Just like such a such a complete, I mean, Crying in Public is definitely like just a puddle. And they made it very much like it's like every Robin meets like Cher dream I've ever had in my life, and yeah, it was a really special moment.
That's awesome you said Robin, because I was like, this is an instant classic, like,
oh my God,
Dancing on My
just I mean, just like throwing it out there in the universe. Like if I ever just see, like, even if it's just like a casual like pocket snap of like Robin dancing to Crying in Public, like I know that I can die happy.
Are you watching this,
I'm
Robin?
just saying, you know, like if you ever just want to throw it on there and like, you
but
know,
have you gotten to dance to that yet?
Not yet, no. Well, I mean, like privately.
I know it's a little early now, but we should go
and just bump it.
Yeah, totally. Well, whether they're sped up or they're totally stripped down, these songs are beautiful. Thank you for sharing them with us here in the Sonic Cathedral. And you got some more tour dates coming up, right? You're traveling, I think you said today. But.
Yep. We're back out on the road with Camp. And then just announced some tour dates with Waxahachie in the early part of next year, which I'm really excited about.
That's going to be mass crying in public. Can't wait.
Oh my God, losing it. Can't deal.
Well, thanks so much. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Boom.